If you're watching this, welcome! And if you're wondering why you're looking at a web page, well, just allow me to explain. Because about 7 years ago, I actually started this blog as sort of like a means to express my own opinions about anime, manga, and games. But after about one or two reviews and a first impression, I, well, basically abandoned it. But in the years, that I have since abandoned this and brought it back a little over a month ago, things have changed, which I will explain in a little bit. But, well, I have mentioned here a revival and additions. And one of those additions is YouTube, of course. Well, literally, I just decided recently that to go somewhere, I decided to buy as cheap a camera as possible and to start recording things. Although I didn't buy this camera, which was 20 quid, looks like a pile of garbage, runs off of AAA batteries which will probably only last about 35 seconds. So what I went for was this. Although it says ID 2020 here, it is actually a Polaroid IX 2020 HD camcorder, which at least looks to be a bit better. Although starting up this venture is going to have a few, shall we say, problems. The first of which is the office. And welcome to what I am laughingly referring to as the office, which, as you can clearly see, is currently not in what I would call a fit state to be called an office. We got loads of mess down here, my leaning tower of breakfast cereal over here, trolley with the sound bar I can't use at the moment over there, and a lot of stuff on the bookcases which, as you can see, are filled to capacity. The good thing is that, well, you will be seeing a lot more of this in a while. There will be some changes due in the future. One of which will be to get some more desk space on. And, well, I've always thought that the bed would be a bad idea in here. Although it was better than my sofa bed that was falling to pieces. And next we go back to the laptop. And thank you. But that isn't the only problem I have. The other problems, well, I'm actually using one of them. Because, while my bedroom's a mess and could easily be sorted out, both this laptop which I'm on and my desktop are a right mess. Because, well, this has what I call a sub-decent processor, AMD Athlon 2X2 P320 at 2.1 gigahertz. Excuse me while I scratch me eyeball edge. It doesn't really get much in the graphics department or the RAM, and the pathetic laptop grade hard drive really bogs things down, especially when it goes into virtual memory. And the desktop is about as bad. Right, and let's get this thing fired up. And you'll probably see the reason why I'm saying that this has its problems. Yeah, well, first of them is this Windows XP, which is only compatible with some of the games I have, and the other reason I've got these problems is going to be coming right up. Once this thing actually boots, right. I almost forgot I was recording. Yep, and here it goes. Unfortunately, I had a slight problem on this about a couple of months back, where I powered it up, and after a while the hard drive powered down and it had to restart, and it had to spin itself back up. And the log report stated that the hard drive had a bad block, so this thing is going to need some upgrades. Now that everything is booted and settled, I need to give a little history on this computer, because originally this was something completely different when I got it, and as you can see, there's no power light, if you can even see it, because originally this computer contained an older motherboard, an older piece of crap Celeron, and the front panel header for the power light doesn't connect to the new motherboard properly, which is an Asus M2N MX, which actually has an AMD Athlon 64 X2 6000 Plus, which completely spanks the old crappy processor that was in this thing. But even though I put in the GT610 to try and get it into a graphics level to actually play graphically capable games, the hard drive down and my new project means that I'm probably going to have to get new hard drives and get a few other components to actually at least get a sub-decent gaming system ready. And we are going to start over here, where a majority of my PlayStation and Nintendo games are stored, mostly crammed to capacity. Although, depending on where you're looking at this, some of these games, if I play them, may never see the light of day because Nintendo. Well, yeah. So, yes, and I have Alien Isolation, and, well, you're not going to see me crapping my pants on it. And second, we have our second bookcase, crammed to, well, almost capacity, with all of my GameCube games, all of my original Xbox games, plus a few DS games, and as you can probably just see there, a little Japanese Game Boy Advance game, which I probably might talk about later. Although a little bit further down, though you can't really see it because it's in shadow, we've got a few of my PlayStation 1 games, and I think one 3DS and 2DS, and a couple of Game Boy Advance games. But unfortunately what you can't see because of the lack of light is the Game Boy Advance games and probably a N64 game down the bottom, along with some of the PC games that won't be seeing the light of day. And last but by no means least, we have the final bookcase. You have to excuse the lighting, as, well, I'm as far away from the window as possible. So, here is, quite literally, all the way back here, and down there again are my PlayStation 2 games. And one shelf down, along with the plate, try and get in the remainder of my N64 games. And down here we have, well, probably what is my role-playing selection for PlayStation 1. All nicely and neatly stored next to the the leaning tower of breakfast cereals. And that is only part of it, because I also have a small collection of PlayStation 1 games alongside some that would have been seen already and mentioned. I've also got my collection of PC games because, well, initially when I started it up, my Steam account was just for the freebies. But recently I've decided that it will be a heck of a lot better to buy stuff. Plus, I also have a small supply of games from GOG, including FTL and a couple of retro classics, but I've also got a few things that, well, actually some of the games I have in Steam aren't what you would expect, because I have all 3 Alien Breed games, I also have Portal, and I also have several other things like Space Engineers, a few other games that, well, would be normal, like Valkyria Chronicles, but I only really got that because it was on sale. It has all the DLC from the original game included, and it is in 1080p, which is higher in resolution than the PlayStation 3 version. But apart from that, there are a few other unusual things I'm getting, including, yes, I have decided well, I should say the insanity of the heat about a month ago made me go and pre-order both the Battlefield 1 set, including the Hellfighter pack, plus Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Well, now, I am not per se a constant FPS player, because I always hated Call of Duty, didn't really like Battlefield. The only first-person style game I've actually had recently, up until recently, and when I actually brought Alien Isolation, was Quantum Conundrum on my PlayStation 3. But, well, a few videos, and that, well, what some are hating as a trailer for Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, I decided to, well, instead of going COD or Battlefield, I went both ways. But, well, there's the normal. Well, instead of choosing sun or moon, I decided, what the heck, pre-order both. And, well, Persona 5 on the PlayStation 3, that's probably going to be cancelled anyway, because the rate things are going, there might not even be a PlayStation 3 version. One other thing I'm also doing is, well, I've subscribed to, is this, the Humble Monthly, which is a package deal where you pay $12 every month, or which probably approximates to around £8.50, or about £9, £9.30, depending on what your bank charges for foreign currency conversion. And for that, you get about 6 games. And of course, well, if you get this one, you would be saving a lot of money anyway, because the initial unlock is Rocket League, which on Steam is around £15. So this will put the unboxing, if you could call it that, of this will probably be my next video. It'll probably be hopefully easier to sort of shoot than this one. And so, after watching and hearing all this, you're probably wondering, why in the heck am I doing this anyway? Well, that is pretty simple, because over the years and years and years, I have been applying and applying and applying for jobs almost every single day, about 5 days a week for the whole year. And most of the times, all I get is Jack, S-H-I-T, back. It is either, "Oh, thank you for your application, we'll contact you soon," and then tumbleweed keeps on going over. Or I just get the, "Oh, we're sorry, you're not suitable," responses back after a few weeks. Although I have actually gotten into the sort of like out of the application stage a few times, I can actually count the amount of times that has happened on one hand. And so, about a month ago, I decided, what the heck? After watching a few videos of certain YouTubers actually mentioning or documenting either their making YouTube a profession or having to change their YouTube hobby into more of a profession where they earn money, I've decided, what the heck. If you can't beat them, join them. And so hopefully I should be, well, once I've got this more established, I can enable monetization here. I've also got my channel on Daily Motion, which I can enable monetization on there. Hopefully once everything is set up, I should be able to get things running on my Twitch account. And as an extra grace and probably to fund things, I will probably end up setting up a Patreon page.